This season has been a ish show, okay? Now, the season gave us one thing, social media gave us a whole nother story. But have we really gone into these ladies' attachment styles? We talked about Chelsea, AD, Sarah Ann, Laura, but what is going on beneath the surface? Is it really them? Is it the chaos of their childhood they're bringing into these relationships? And what are these ladies' attachment style? So if you are ready to get into it with your girl, Denise Brady, licensed marriage and family therapist, let's go. Now, first, before I start this video, make sure you like, hit the notification bell, do all the things that help this video get into the algorithm. Your girl is growing, but I need your help to continue to get me there, okay? So this season, on and off the screen, I feel like more of on social media, we got a whole different story about these people, okay? But has anyone really dug into their attachment styles? How are they showing up as human beings, as adults? How has that childhood trauma shown up now in their relationship dynamics? So we're going to talk about the 4 attachment styles. Now we have secure, we have disorganized, we have, what is the other one? Anxious. Y'all know what they are, okay? I'm gonna put them at the bottom of the screen. But looking at where does your attachment style derive from? It derives from as a childhood environment, caregivers, okay? The love that was given to you, the bonds, the trust, all that stuff that was provided to you as a child. Were you able to get what you needed? And if you weren't, how has that impacted yourself to how you show up in the world? And just as much as your childhood affects your attachment style, there's also stuff that happens in your adult life that also affects your childhood. And most people ask me in these videos, can you go from avoidant, anxious, dismissive to secure? And yes, you can. I will get to that, okay? Now, first, what do you guys think these ladies' attachment styles are? When you think about our core group of ladies, Chelsea, Laura, Sarah Ann, AD, and Amy, what are their attachment styles? Let me know in the comments, okay? So let's get into it, all right? First, we're gonna get into our girl Chelsea, okay? Now, Chelsea, I know some of y'all are probably thinking, what is her attachment style? Some of y'all probably already know, okay? We gonna call it a thing, okay? Her attachment style to me is very disorganized. People who are in disorganized attachment styles, love me, love me, love me, oh, push me away. They have chaotic relationships. They also find it hard to really, I think, genuinely connect, okay? They fall in love sometimes easily and then push people back. Now, Chelsea has a lack of clear attachment, okay? Love me, love me, love me, push me away. She sabotages her relationships. We also see that it's hard for her to trust. When it comes to her dynamic with Jimmy, she trusts him at times, but then you see how her emotional instability, that disorganized attachment style, shows up and pushes him away. And I'm wondering about her past relationships with her ex-husband, other boyfriends. How is that showing up? It also shows to me the fact that he said the first person you called when we did get engaged was your ex. Poor disconnect, poor boundaries, okay? It's a poor example of her attachment style not being able to let go, okay? That disorganized, and you see it through their relationship continuing on, the chaos, toxicity. A lot of people who have disorganized attachment styles end up in very toxic relationships, okay? They might be the one who's bringing it, their partner might be the one that's bringing it, but you have 2 toxic people that come together and it just implodes. And you see how, sorry, spoiler alert if you didn't know already, them being on again, off again, together, who knows? It's another play on that disorganized attachment. And I'll get into the men's attachment styles in another video if you want me to, so comment below. But someone with disorganized attachment style just has unhealthy relationships, okay? I wonder about her relationships with her own friends. We saw it a little bit, but we don't get to see enough of Chelsea's outside life. We didn't really see a lot of her relationship dynamics with her own family. I would love to see more of how her disorganized attachment style shows up in her life. But Chelsea, is disorganized, okay? Now, the next group of women, pretty much the rest of the cast except one, okay, to me comes off as very anxious. We got AD showing up anxious, Laura showing up anxious, and we also have Sarah Ann showing up anxious. I think that's all the women, okay, except Amy. I'm gonna talk about Amy later. But these women to me all have anxious attachment styles, okay? People who have anxious attachment styles fall in love easily because they're trying to get that need met from outside relationships. And they all show up differently, okay? Now you might be thinking, AD anxious? And some of y'all are like, yeah, this girl is anxious, but everyone has shown up very differently. Oh, and Jessica. How can I forget Jessica? But they're all, to me, I'm not gonna like this, but they're all kind of pick-me's in different ways. They're getting their self-worth from relationships. I think a lot of them have low self-esteem, a little bit of jealousy, and the fear of abandonment, okay? That fear of abandonment is a key component of having an anxious attachment style. And we see how, I don't want to say Jessica had a fear of abandonment, but she has been abandoned before. And I think in some ways, Jimmy was her opportunity out of whatever situation she is. Not so much from the, we're gonna live in this fairy tale, live happily ever after. I'm thinking about more of the opportunist kind of way. I think she was supposed to come on this show and it was supposed to be her meal ticket. Not so much him, but what he represented. And I think that's why she said, you ruined this for me. Because at the time she probably thought, okay, now that I wasn't chosen, where can I really go from here? Okay, but Jess once again found another way to go on another TV show. They brought her back multiple times. But to me, all these women are pick-me's. And it's interesting to see Laura and Sarah Ann battle out about who is really a pick-me. Both of y'all are pick-me's, okay? It just shows up very differently. I think Laura is maybe more covert about her pick-me behavior. Sarah Ann thinks that she's covert, but you're really not, okay? How can you be with a man who left his fiance, I would say maybe a month, some weeks before this show? He went on the show, chose Laura, was with her in a relationship, but then was with you in your car, supposedly for 5 hours, and this is the man you want to be with? Like I've said in my previous videos, it's very much giving to me Josh and Jackie. How long will it really last, okay? And it's interesting to see how a lot of these shows have pick-me girls because they know the pick-me behavior is going to get ratings, it's going to get entertainment. But also AD does not know her self-worth, okay? She might not be your typical jealous, anxious, insecure person, but she actually is, okay? She represents a lot of people who are able to mask it, who are able to hide behind beauty, looks, appearing very secure. But once again, those actions, baby girl, those actions are giving me something different. Those actions are showing me that anxious attachment style. So you present one way, but your behavior show a different thing. And that's the thing that people don't really understand, is that you can appear one way, but what that life looking like? What them actions looking like? Because to me, it's giving anxious, okay? The same thing with Laura being anxious, Sarah Ann being anxious. Chelsea is more disorganized, but she can be on either side. She can be anxious, she can be avoidant. That's that disorganized attachment. I don't know if someone like this can ever be in a healthy relationship unless they really do the work on themselves. And so Amy to me, I'm not quite sure about Amy. I think she can be a little naivete, a little passive, but because her storyline in the eyes of media was boring, we really didn't get much from her. So I'm not quite sure what her attachment style is. And I think they did a disservice to her because she's so normal and boring in the eyes of Netflix and media culture that we didn't really get a lot of her. But the rest of these women are very disorganized and anxious. Now you want to get over to secure, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking, can you get to a secure attachment style? Yes, you can. Okay. First, you have to look at where your self-worth is. Okay. Number 2, look at your current relationships. And number 3, look at the patterns of those relationships. Looking at those things and decide, okay, I see my role in this. I see how I play a part, and I want to work on that. You can't work on it alone, but I'm going to always encourage all you guys to work on it with a therapist, because that is the best way to really overcome and really work on these things. So these are the attachment styles of the ladies this season. A lot of anxious, Chelsea that disorganized. Do you think that any of these women represent you? The relationships that you've had? Okay. Now let me know your thoughts, because of course your girl can get into it, but know that you can grow out of, unlearn those maladaptive behaviors, and come over to the secure attachment style. But let me know your thoughts, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.